no or you be a dwedie efrani mojem ti sa ofa Ghana for ma 10 ejina ho a udi sika show bi ensem a emu 8 will double the money for you. I go to Takrady today. Ejano aka akwanya e what Takrady etesay ye fa ho kwa exim ye sopio hane I sopio hane aka cho say aye kwan, but that one is not even a problem. Person bisa regional minister say nti owu a dan dodo say na ode be kwa menem o say start you know ye ma Akuffo Addo kura Nana Addo enu no so ye onu nti na Nana Addo ejai sa na thank you tour no. Cause watch this, Nana Addo no or started thank you tour. No Ashanti region. Eno ba hogbe. Eno de be say call central. Central the first day near say yaya ade ama no mbebia no okobie na statue. Ofi Takrady oba Cape Coast no packing ne niam na oba nkran. We jai thank you to no. Onua ankasa afen na Nana Addo ehu say sebe. Nipa ofa wo no na woni adwen papa. I late. Ebia nanka ebia menka sa nanka ebia nanso also thank you talk kekekura wajai. But anyway, ahora mami feno nto na and I want some baby o hwa ebeka eba beto mu say aduane a edema ye ma no titru emo na almost 22,000 bags of rice. Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service at the core secondary schools no. Almost say mono. I say Okujetwaka Mahamaka. Putupru and the Food and Drugs Authority. And so I catch and say a mono a wholesome. Nibusa FD when a DB wo. No, when a no be wo. FDA hono odiye eme hu se sam because emo no ekwa secondary schools in dada o ma dibi dada eti emo no mu de hin na FDA kofa sample no wo mo nwan ana o mo che ebe no asa that's good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
I'm always happy to see you.
Thank you. You're very good.
I'm hoping to see people of your age standing up to issues.
We're getting up. Slowly
like the way you do.
Up. Slowly we are getting up.
The former Chief Justice, Gloria Akuffo.
Yes.
And a few others.
Yeah,
I want to see the old people standing up to the task.
We have to. We will.
Sophia Akuffo. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. When we see young people like this, they inspire us.
Okay.
Then we will get up.
Ivan.
Captain.
Yes, sir.
Sir. Oh, that is the most important thing.
Eja ese pani dware wi ani nso asantima me starting free ho yesi amo na say na fa so say nra tewu fo so e strike enti secondary schools no kitchen ne bebre ho a o ma mie na o ma no aduane ama ye ma no se wo fa aduane come about school.
Captain, it's really sad. They did come and mention what team for a mention man so Ghana as a democracy. Many sure say in our entire history as a country, we've ever been exposed to danger of this magnitude ever in the history of this country. And it's unfortunate that people who are leading this reckless spree Ghana, namely our own people we call our friends, people we call family from our own background and for them. And very often what you say as abrofo no ba ha be file mutimi ya den de yakoye captain enne so hetete the slavery days now compare now you can tell say yetimi ya den chan even what happened those times because we are very people are always it is about us the yebenya no the yebedi but what happens to the other guy we don't care this rice as am I can already know water rely kruma because of galamsey poison cyanide then as a form agimo afa ena ya babedru aduane and company in question can ho asem this is not the first time why sade we yo in 2021 say offer the auditor general's reporter this same company was accused of distributing unwholesome food to people. This same company 2021 auditors general report. Then we come back to 2023-2024. The same company, that is the culture of criminality. That is what they engage in. But because they have people at higher places, then as a phone, always they get through with whatever that they want. Because a company at the Momba Krumana say Mona expire. You don't get the FDA to change your friend saying the date expiry date. Because expiry date, a date here, may say Uber hospital, medicine, drugs, hospital, you can't expiry date here. That is the date the manufacturer can guarantee the safety of the product. Say a part you can no longer hold the manufacturer accountable, whatever that happens. And in this particular case, company na ye aye na dibia at the expiry date team so nasa or the ba. Nasa with me get the FDA to change the date. Expiry date here. Then there are a whole lot of questions that we need to ask as people. And to get that particular unwholesome food to our schools, buffer stock. We be say investigations been no more these unwholesome food ended up in our schools. Distributed to students then as a forum. It's always about the cash, the money. That is what inspires people. So at the end of the day, rules of engagement, ethics, principles, values, everything in Libya has been trashed into the bin, and we are just following the grid. And it's the reason why we are here. I am not surprised at this thing. I see a name. You will not see any proper investigation be able to come. I bet me I bring the culprit because I'm told that Ashanti Regional Police Command arrested officials of this particular company. Call from the above and the buyer, they released all of them. They did that. Your friend says, I'm going to take a sample of the food. Acquire test who say food and you're wholesome. Then after that particular call, and sana yedi aduane ko buffer stock, I could distribute. So by the time of food air corner, they knew say and you're wholesome. But they don't care. Because the very people you have entrusted this country into their hands to seek to the welfare of Menewono don't care about Menewo. They only care about how they can make money, put their families at a position as Sebi. Or when they die, their generation will come and take over. Because Ghana and Sana Kwakwaye. But I say, this is the time for you, Neme. Now you take it up the stage. The yanka say politics those times the pressure for few fancy guys be a sebi or man say B to A class schools and menewo and the ordinary Ghanaian we need to take a stake in our politics and say this enterprise called Ghana we are all stakeholders. Obi share and Obi. We own the same share. So it is our collective might and a collective responsibility to ensure that we shepherd this country and make sure that we make this country a better place. Because in America, you drops in a couple of individual sacrifice. At some point, some people died. Because so what's your mind when you're not ready to make sacrifice? Trust me, you will never get anywhere. And this is the time for us to make that ultimate sacrifice as young people. Say no, we cannot invest emotions into politics. We need to invest wisdom. We have to be very critical. There is this notion and tag out there. We are a young person now. We are very vocal, very critical. They tag you as arrogant. But you say this is no arrogance. Criminals have taken over our country. People who are in to satisfy their greed, their insatiable desire for wealth. They are the very people who are mismanaging this country. And here we are at the crossroad. We just want a way out. But consistently, there is nothing that these people are doing. We are average and the ordinary Ghanaian. What who said this particular thing, our interest. Because distributing such poisonous food to kids, do you know the implication as we speak? Say a kasi come acquire house screening, the impact of some of these things. Captain, the ketwa. And some of these things, you don't know the name so in any war. We name the consequences and some of these things people do these things and they get away with it, and that is the problem. And again, to get the FDA to say a wholesome food after all these controversies natural say how we can bend the state institutions that ordinarily we are supposed to trust them because these state institutions any FDA so no wonder people are out there selling your friends or person will know about that neuronin as poisoning among for liver and kidneys because the FDA is not doing what they are supposed to do. It's just a matter of a call from up there, then they will change everything, and that is exactly what is playing out in this particular situation. So I'm telling Ghana for say so what is a Captain Smart but we are here talking, it doesn't mean that Kasa no be pay. And as we are very much concerned about the trajectory of Ghana economy because Ghana today is in the hands of criminals who only seek for their welfare. Because there be a mechanism, Senka Ghana, but be a Kwakudru Senka, any decency, Bawumia will not even get the courage, but Ghana for him so Omonto Abamani because he is just a Chinese version of Akuffo Addo. Just a Chinese version. It is a Akuffo Addo. Oh, Captain. Say Akuffo Addo in the Chinese version, then you can imagine the kind of danger you are in because maybe I say, look at the economy today. Say a come in Ghana to the stand say, oh, your friends say external creditors we are all unable to pay near the China. You have to go and beg them some fire kind. Ghana your patch in the actual when I read a war. Ghana near Pachina and Chow some funny channel. We were begging other institutions and as a for
the Chinese
version. Captain and the Papa no way because Obia Oba as economist. We'll say you have the solution to all the problems. And then look at the CD, look at the dollar. Share your debt portfolio, and the debt to GDP.
You see, you don't understand.
Understand what?
Because you are not an economist.
That is a joke.
You see, the fact that when the fundamentals are weak, exchange rate to expose you. Yes, it's 100% correct. Yesterday and today, but it is a warped logic for anybody to think that when the exchange rate is not doing good, it means the fundamentals are good. That was his response to you.
Your politics and the jokers have taken the center stage. You see, they wear fancy coats, stand on the political platforms, turn themselves into comic enthusiasts. Then they wow the people with those silly analogies and those kind of stuff. At the end of the day, the major factor has to do with what is prevailing on the economic front. The average Ghanaians, the daily economic realities, and that is the economy. It is not about the words you use to describe it, because when it comes to using words, those platitudes, some of us are very good at using words to, make things look like those things. People are good because but the reality is the daily economic realities of the average Ghanaian. What that's already and they go to Aboso Kain or how many of them are able to do that? And important as for a good because of the dollar. That is the promise Dr. Bawumia made to the people of this country. So why is he not out there telling the people of this country, say, I told you, said John Mahama, you're reckless. Now, I'm coming to do better. Today, look at the CD, look at the dollar, look at your friends, your debt rating as a for them. For the first time, motor government bonds and then as a for them, you see a debt restructuring as a result. Now, we call bank and we share so for be me, not Nisua Tata and the other. Also, the Nisika. He's around 60 years. He's supposed to get his money to buy his medication. But government is telling him to postpone the maturation date. And a death sentence and a pass your man. Because as a health personnel, what I know is people after 60, 70, 80, you need your doses of medication to survive on daily basis. You cannot postpone it. There is no negotiable. So if government that's all mine boka and Makacha, the reason why we are here today, because of certain reckless, foolish decisions some individuals decided to take. For instance, Keno Forata, when he started borrowing in that reckless fashion, yet now money ready away so can they never listen to any of us. You understand? And then at the same time, Ghana for you saw what happened in this particular country. Bond market and then for Captain, look at the amount of money and then so where we were expecting government to intervene, now with the Sika cathedral, how many times I one Taranka cathedral? Yakobu judges dangu ye and then see in 2012 ye bu dan ni nyina to gu ye ekosi isi ekosi cathedral and amanana da ho $58 million. These are the realities. So you see, baby yaba Ghana you will have to sacrifice where the president was telling people say they should sacrifice, It's not as if say or mine a running and a mistake but a deliberate, conscious, reckless decision. These people decided say or mobile just for their stomach, just for their personal way. So I know the day me no end so far is the reason why Ghana abaye a laughing stock in the community of nations, and every facet of our society is done. And these people out there still have the courage to tell people say yanto abamomo. And then I will carry football class. Here be a Ghana football kwa because people in charge, because of recklessness and mismanagement, they can't even tell people who are running football, and the football association, is full of crooks, criminals, and phony characters. And on Ghana football, they call themselves football people. And look at how far these people have messed our football. Ghana winning growing up. And when they come to football, you're a beacon of hope on the radar of some of these things. I'm for Tagie, I say, the Brazil of African football. And then look at the nature of our football. And even the decency to say, oh, come on, I've embarrassed myself. Let me step down for people to come. No, they don't even have that decency. And our football is on the decline. So, Ghana says, now we are babunu. Now we two near. You will say, what is the future? Where is that particular future coming from? But this is a Ghana now, dear Bakwana, in the olden days, a hope, the glimpses of hope, because as a country you can lose everything, but one thing you cannot lose, a hope, because the very moment you lose it, it endangers everybody. Because when young people wake up and they don't have hope, what it means there, lose canon. You can do whatever that you want to do to survive. And Omaino is doing everything possible to take away some of these incentives. Our average and the ordinary Ghanaian baby. So President Akuffo Addo in the last 8 years, that's our trans-year review. Now, Bisano say how Ghana baby do, and he will be very honest with himself. And for me, his presidency will forever be consigned to the dark pages of our political history, because Nema Wayeno or Baso Bebo mine, he has liberated criminals and they've taken over this country. As he said, there is nobody in charge. And you can name individuals who think that this whole presidency, government, leadership is about grabbing wealth. And then I will count the number of Anema Mamfoas. The other side, the environment I see you protected, and you liberty among for Monamso, Agalam say no to say and Sas Yensuo, and now what's Ghana. Win him whether you are liver and answer or kidney, say and answer win him, because consistently you are taking these doses of poison without even realizing it. The government are the ultimate responsibility to stop some of these things. And they're interested because to them it's business as usual. Because the average and the ordinary Ghanaian your politics, your NDC, your MPP, some trauma way, they trauma way. So this division among us, are creating strength. And these people are leveraging this strength to do whatever they do. Because meaning say, if I sit here and mess up, I have friends, Captain Smart and Ivan Kyei, they will support me. So always there is enough motivation. You understand? Exactly. And unfortunately, leadership in our part of the world, we don't enlist the best of brains. Because it is about enlisting sycophants, bootlickers, people who will sing hallelujah choruses, all to the praise of who appointed us. So I know the day, the critical mindset now, nipa na ya appointed they not dream by they are not doing it. And then look at our Supreme Court today. Look at our court. Every single institution is folding up under political maneuverings and the pressure, because they think that they own allegiance to some individuals or the number. But and I'm saying, Yatsana say, and a making appointment that is based on merit. I'm not sure say we'll be here today. And then President to a name he doesn't even realize it, because the very people around him are all praise singers. They are all hallelujah chorus singers. Praising. So he's not even able to give a second thought about what is happening. And that is the kind of system that we want. I will Kroma say. So today in Africa, poverty abaye the blueprint. We are just selling poverty for people so that we control them. Because and by mistake is by design, and that is the playbook that is in play in Africa. Make sure you impoverish the people so that you will be in control. And that's exactly the kind of playbook that has been in existence. Follow Nipano, Obama 5 Ghana, Obama 100 Ghana, 200 Ghana. Because just imagine how insulting it is for somebody to approach you say, 1,000 Ghana, or patches a nyansa new team. Because I don't need somebody to give me money before I'll go and vote for that particular person. So time has come for us. Put away emotions. Let us be very critical. I don't care who you're going to vote for. But look at where Ghana is today. look at baby or minor call. Now you say that is the time for us to rescue this country. It's not about emotions anymore, because the very people here don't minor shop Monsano have demonstrated, because this poisonous food is just a tip of the iceberg. Near Sisi Okromano, a chance I never will know a Dawson and a bar, the inertia. The reluctance, the unwillingness on the part of those in power and even state institutions to ensure that as a decent country we delve deeper into some of these things and find the culprit. Now I am punishing them to serve as deterrent. Serve by in the future, no, people will not go the same way. The state, are so reluctant when it comes to some of these things, so you don't see anything, because the attitude has always been that of indifference, because state Nankasa is a sponsor of this terror, of this terror that is being unleashed on the people, because they have close relationship to those in power. So I know that they Ghana now, when will be and that person is in power, you do things and you get away. We cannot continue to build the country like this. And I know the very people who are supposed to be the conscience of this particular society, because Captain, politics, is a deep realm. You can get lost in the middle of it. But in every country, there are decent minded. Just try to shepherd things, and then all these people, we have lost them. As of one penny for you will be buying a more, because they are giving them cars. I am from penny for, they are giving them cars. So they don't even care what is happening to young people today. All the young people are going outside this country. Me growing up, I thought to say traveling abroad, opportunity but leaving your country to go and live in another man's country, that is a hell of a sacrifice to make. And people don't go there because they are happy. People go there because conditions in their country, that is why people leave. Because the best thing that can happen to anybody else is to live in your own country, work and be happy. But the rate at which people are moving out, demonstrating the level of desperation, the frustration that people are going through. And I think these are some of the things I see. As a country, we have to come on the round table and say enough is enough. We cannot give the destiny of this country to few misguided, twisted minds who think because Yato power more, they control everything. Right. We need to take charge and make sure we straighten this thing out.
Yes, ma'am. The rest of the time is yours.
A lot of the problem is us. We. Us.
Okay.
That's it. Who voted for them?
We.
Who accepted the lie that education was going to be free?
We.
So if we accepted that lie, then we should accept the rotten food that goes with free education.
Mano.
Because that's the only way you can do it.
Yeah.
You've complained about the school toilet blocks, the dormitories. When you introduced free education, you didn't plan it well, and you didn't expect the number of people who entered into the education system to enter. You had more than you expected, and you've had 8 years to do something about this, and you haven't done it. And today, when you are ready to leave, you're giving us what? Rotten rice to eat on top of the dirty galamsey water.
The cyanide.
The cyanide. What again? Are you trying to erase 2 generations? Because this is not just 1 generation. This is maybe 2 or 3 generations that are going to be affected. And it's not that it's only their brains. It's their kidneys, their livers, it's their health. And the education is so stupid and poor.
What's it?
I'm telling you. The children are coming out from SHS and they can't even write a simple letter in proper English grammar. The rubbish they write, I have seen it. Look, if you come from a home where your parents speak English with you all the time, it's different. But when you come from a home where your mommy was not well educated,
your dad same.
How are you going to speak good English? It only happens in school.
Yes, right.
I have a housekeeper in my house. When she speaks English, some of the words are bigger than the dictionary. Okay? They are bigger than the dictionary. But we accept it like that and we understand what she's trying to say. And it helps the children to understand that they need to speak good English. Now, I speak to them in Ghana because I feel comfortable. My son doesn't have Ga in English, so he speaks to them in English. And they're speaking English and they're getting there. But I tell you, some of the children from the SHS, when you meet them on the road and you speak to them, you don't know what they're talking about. The grammar is just a mess. Then you're poisoning them on top. The education, look, anything free means it's rubbish. Okay, in this world today. If I say I'm bringing you free yams, there's a reason I'm bringing you free yams. Either I want a bribe, or it's yams either I'm trying to bribe you, or it's yams I don't need in my house. It's rubbish. Okay? So when he said free education, first of all, because we don't think, we don't use our brains, we should have known free. What is free in this world today? Hey, Charlie, are we sure? It's not free. Oh.
Speaker.
Taxi say. No akapio ni ya domon binu ehie nye ni kela ke taxi say pio e ka go you ejame nya afachika ni ka ba free education ni nye ba pay back ke interest na kai ke mi binu ke mi nye ni ke no je taxi say da bi e ke da nya afachika ni ka ba fe ni nye fe le ojogba because le e da ya UK e we le system Pene ya school ya UK kaje nursery ka gbe secondary school ihe ko pencil ihe akola ihe ko pen ihe ko sweeping broom ihe ko toilet brush ihe akola my name you call ya secondary school me na lahi from toilet brush books eraser sweeping broom, and I hear actually there are some shops in the school that sell those things. And it is beginning to look like when the children bring the things and they are not used, they are pushed into the shop, and you who you don't bring it, you go and buy it. What kind of mess is this? Captain, where in this world have you seen free education before? America, UK, Europe, France, where is education free? It's taxes that pay for it.
Yes.
But in our case, my son says, you people, you let them borrow the money. And you pay for it. You pay interest too on top. So if it is free, that's the kind of rice we're going to eat. Free rice. But the saddest thing of all is which mastermind was able to cook up the thing that, you know what? Let's change the sacks. Let's change the date. What evil mind did he have? Or she might even be a she, because today in Ghana you can find she's like that. We add the rice, we cook it with galamsey water. I would like to know what water the children are given in school to drink.
No, we buy water for them.
Who buys?
You have to buy bottled water for your children. Yes.
Is it enough?
Well,
what about the Kaya woman's son? Can she manage it?
So
Which water are you using to cook that rice? Are we buying water and taking it?
No.
Those of us who can afford, can afford. What about those who cannot afford? As I said, the kaya you.
They are the majority.
Yes. Did you see the small children this morning on the news? They interviewed them on the street side. They said they came with their parents to beg. Now they are selling cotton buds and little paint brushes to earn a living. This is Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana.
No.
We're here today. Aren't we doing wonderfully well? Let's clap for them. Well done. We're so grateful. We love the galamsey water, don't we? Can you afford that bottled water that man went to the interview and took with him in his green bottle? 30.99p. That was the price at ShopRite. Are you going to buy one every time we come here for us? You can't afford it.
I can't afford it.
Can you send it to school with your kids?
No.
Are you sure this is clean water? They say it comes from Tema. Are we sure it is clean? Captain?
Yes, ma'am.
The kidneys, the livers, the lungs. The first day I came here, you talked about. What are we doing about them? Our last hour's due is coming up. We have to bring it up. her I sent it to you, please.
To Godwin?
Yes, I did. He should please put it up. He should please put it up. So that it's on the 23rd of this month. And let me just bring it up here, Captain, and pass it to you. Okay. I just sent it to myself. Anti-Galamsey Confab. Eco-citizens, eco-conscious citizens. And we are all being invited. Everybody can go. Okay? It starts at... I sent it to him. I was hoping he would put it up. Starts at 4. And I think it finishes... He still hasn't put it up. And it finishes at 8. Okay. Yes. And they're going to talk about the anti-Galamsey video. There's going to be an anti-Galamsey video playlist. A welcome by Awula Sewa. There's a video mashup where we've come from, the Atroso update, and then there's some music. Then we're going to do environmental CSO and Rocha, and Rocha and food sovereignty Ghana. Screening of Poisoned for Gold. And then there'll be music and all kinds of things.
Okay.
And that's the 23rd. People, please go. Go and say what you have to say. Poisoned water on top of poisoned rice. On my list here, there was something about a very beautiful lady who was saying we should vote for her handsome whiz-kid husband. Is it still on our list today of things we are talking about? Or we should just stick to the rice? Captain, I'm waiting for you. Or are you closing the show?
Maybe the rice.
We should do the rice.